Hello everyone, I am NSG Saranya, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, BUC Engineering College, Autonomous Model Review. I am going to deal with the subject Instrumentation and Control System. Before going into the topics of the subject, first we will see what is the importance of this subject to the engineering students. In the experimental analysis, in the research area, in the industries, in the organizations, we are going to measure the so many parameters like pressure, displacement, temperature, humidity, strain, acceleration, vibration. Like this, so many parameters has to be measured. For measuring these parameters, we are using so many instruments, but one should have the thorough knowledge about these instruments, like the range of the instrument, the characteristics of the instrument, the working of instrument, and how to calibrate these instruments. And also many instruments are automatically controlled, so we should have the knowledge on the control systems also. So this is the subject Instrumentation and Control Systems. Will give the clear idea about the instruments and about the measurement process and control systems. So here you will see the first topic, Introduction to Measurement. In the Introduction to Measurement, we are going to see the topics like importance of instrumentation and measurement, definition of measurement, process of measurement, measurement methods, application of measuring system, generalized measuring system and its element, classification of instruments, important characteristics with respect to instrumentation, and errors during measurement. If you take one manufacturing of a product, so it will undergo many stages. At some stages at least it would have involved in the measurement process. At the same time, more of the operations are manually or automatically controlled. For example, consider a vehicle. So we have so many instruments in that vehicle to measure so many parameters. Say like a speedometer. What is the purpose of speedometer? To measure the safety of the person of the driving the vehicle, who was driving the vehicle. Means to measure the speed, we are going to use the speedometer. At the same time, we are using odometer. What is the purpose of odometer? To know the distance traveled by the vehicle, we will use odometer. And like fuel level indicator. So to know the quantity of the fuel in the vehicle, we will use the fuel level indicator. And to measure the coolant temperature of the engine, we will use the engine temperature indicator. So if you consider one vehicle, we are using this number of instruments. So one should have the knowledge about the instruments, at the same time how these instruments was working, means how the instruments are measuring the some parameters. Now we will see what is the definition of instrumentation. It is a branch of engineering science that deals with techniques used for measurement, the measuring devices used, and the problems that are associated with the techniques used for measurement. So at the starting of the introduction, I have told. So what is the subject deals with? It deals with all the instruments and the measuring devices, and what are the problems associated with the measuring devices we are going to see here. And coming to measurement, so what is the measurement? It is a process of comparing the input signal with a predefined standard and giving out the result is called as measurement. So for example, see, take a you have to measure a length of a wire. So what are the instruments you will use? The standard instruments we have is scale or tape. By using that one, we are going to measure the length of a some wire or some rope. So here what is measurement? We are comparing the unknown magnitude, means the unknown magnitude is technically called as measurement, with the known magnitude. Known is predefined. The scale is universally accepted device. So with that one we are going to measure the unknown magnitude. So measurement is a comparing of some unknown magnitude with known magnitude or predefined standard and giving of some result is called as measurement. Now see here, this is the process of measurement. So see here, measurand. So I told no, the unknown magnitude or the input signal what we are going to measure, that one is called as measurand, and this has to be compared with some standard quantity. This process of comparison is called as measurement. So finally what we will get? We will get one result, that is one numerical value. So this is the process of measurement. But see here to accept this process, one should remember 2 points. First one is here the standard quantity what we are using for the measuring of unknown magnitude should be accepted by everyone. That is the standard one, means it should have calibrate first and it should be accepted by everyone. And the second thing is the process. So here what is the process? The comparison process. So it should be done in the correct way, then only you will get the correct result. So then only one can accept the value obtained by the process of measurement. Okay, now coming to the measurement methods, actually we have only one category, that is direct comparison and indirect comparison. But if you go into the briefly working of the instruments, we have the category 2, that is primary measurement, secondary measurement, tertiary measurement. So coming to the category 1, we have direct comparison and indirect comparison. By the name itself we can say what is direct and what is indirect. So in the direct comparison, the measurand is directly compared with the standard. So I already told what is measurand. The input parameter or the unknown quantity which we are going to measure is called as measurand. If you directly compare with this one, the standard, it is called as direct comparison method. Like already have told, right, measuring the length of a wire, like this is the example, best example for the direct comparison method. Next one is indirect comparison method. So what is this indirect comparison method is? Mainly we will use some transducer element in the instrument. The best example for here is Bourdon tube pressure gauge. So I will show you the video of this one in the later slides, because this was given as example for some another method also. See here what is this Bourdon tube pressure gauge is. For measuring the pressure we are using the Bourdon tube, but see here the input parameter is pressure. So by inletting the pressure into the Bourdon tube expands. So a pointer was attached to the Bourdon tube. The pointer moves along the calibrated pressure scale. From that we will get the pressure reading. So not directly we are not getting. The input is pressure, but the tube was expanding and the pointer was moving along some calibrated scale. So indirectly we are getting the measurement of the pressure. So this is called as indirect comparison method. And the category 2 is primary, secondary and tertiary. So what is this primary measurement is? Only subjective information is provided in this method. Only subjective information means the measurement is made by direct comparison, like one vessel is cooler than other, one rod is longer than other, so like this. And coming to secondary and tertiary, if the output result is obtained by one translation, it is called secondary, and if the output result is obtained by two translations or more than two translations, are called as tertiary. But we should know what is translation. This can be example by simple block diagrams. Suppose if you see this one, here the input or measurand means the unknown parameter. Suppose if you want to measure the pressure, our measurand is pressure. So it will be translated to length, then you will get the output value. This is called secondary measurement. So the input signal we are translating to some another parameter into some length. So this is called secondary measurement. The best example for this one is Bourdon tube pressure gauge. Okay, hello everyone, this is the Bourdon tube pressure gauge. See here, so this is the inlet of the pressure. Due to the pressure, the tube was expanding. To the tube a link was connected, and due to the expansion of the tube the link was moving, due to which this sector was moving the pinion. To the pinion a pointer was attached. It was moving along the pressure calibrated scale. This is how Bourdon tube pressure gauge will works. Now see here, actually the input is pressure, but what were happening here, it was converting into some mechanical displacement length. Then we are getting the value from the pressure calibrated scale. Like that, the tertiary measurement means if the input signal was translated to two stages, then you are getting the output, then it is called as tertiary measurement. The best example is tachometer. What is the purpose of tachometer? To measure the speed we are using tachometer. So if the input signal or measurement is speed, it was converted into voltage, then it was converted into length, then you will get the output, the measured value. So this is called as tertiary measurement. Now we will see the applications of measuring systems or instruments. So if you list out, we will get so many applications, but these are categorized into mainly three types. Those three are monitoring of process and operations, control of process and operations, and experimental engineering analysis. So monitoring of process and operations is to measure something or to operate by operating something you will get some measurement like thermometer, pressure gauge, and also to monitor the process like to measuring the speed in the vehicle and to calculate the distance traveled by the vehicle. We will use some of the instruments like odometer and tachometer. So all these operations come under the monitoring of process and operations. And the second one is control of process and operations. So what is this one is, suppose take a boiler. So we have to continuously control the pressure and temperature at the boiler. And if you go, you can take a simple example like take a heating system or air conditioning system. So nowadays these are automatically controlled. There was a sensor in that one. It will automatically senses the environment temperature. According to that it will adjust the room temperature. Like that refrigeration system also, according to the temperature of the environment it will adjust the temperature. So these are the some type of examples come under the control of process and operations. And third one is experimental engineering analysis. So many members will do research and analysis. So how they will do, first they will take some input parameters, they will make the theoretical calculations, they will get some output. Same input parameters they will go for the instruments, and also they will get some output there. So the output by experiment, the output by theoretical calculations has to be optimized, means it has to be, they should be matched, then only their analysis or the research was correct. So in that purposes also, according to their research they will construct the instruments. So in that process also instruments are used. So these are the three areas of applications of measuring system or instrument. Now we will see generalized measurement system and its elements. So what is this generalized measurement system is, if you see, by using the instrument simply you are getting the output value. Sometimes the measurement process may be simple, sometimes it may be complex, but we don't know how the instrument was working all these things, but simply you are getting the output value. So to understand the process of measurement, one instrument we are considering as a system, that is generalized measurement system. So it has the elements like primary sensing element, variable conversion element, variable manipulation element, data transmission element, data processing element, and data presentation element. So what is this primary sensing element is, it will observes the energy from the input signal. So suppose our input signal is pressure, or suppose the input signal is displacement, so it will senses that input signal, that is called primary sensing element. Next, what is this variable conversion element is, it will takes the output from the primary sensing element and it will converts into some another form. So variable conversion element is called as transducer also. What is transducer? To convert one parameter to another parameter is called as transducer, means conversion of one form to another form is called as transducer. Suppose here the output parameter is pressure, it will converts to displacement. Suppose linear motion, it converts to rotary motion. Suppose temperature to EMF. Suppose flow to pressure. And the next element is variable manipulation element. So what is this variable manipulation element is, suppose the input signal is very low, so for the change in input we cannot calculate the output. So what we will do, we have to manipulate that element so that we will get the larger value, means by multiplying with some constant factor it will become large. So small displacement into large displacement, small voltage to large voltage, like that. Means we are increasing the strength of the signal by using the variable manipulation element. Next one is data transmission element. So what is this data transmission element is, to transmit the signal from one place to another place, we are going to use the data transmission element, like shaft to gear, test center to computer, from ground equipment to missile, like this. And the next element is data processing element. What is data processing element is, it removes unwanted disturbances such as noises which came with the signal, then it will give that output to the data presentation element. So what is data presentation element is, it will convert the final output into a format which will be understood by a human being, that is data presentation element, like a pointer moving over a scale or recording of a pen moving over a chart. And finally, the output can be read by a observer. This is generalized measurement system and its elements. So one can easily understand this one with the help of an example. So if you see here, so this is pressure type thermometer. So see here, we have to find out the temperature of the fluid in this tank. Okay, so see here, so how it was going to measure is, this is the sensing bulb. It will senses the temperature. So by sensing the temperature, the mercury in the sensor bulb will rises. So the capillary tube will carry this mercury to the Bourdon tube. So by the rising of the mercury, this Bourdon tube will expand. Due to the expansion of the Bourdon tube, this link will move, which will makes this sector to move. This sector will move the pinion, and the pointer will move along the temperature calibrated scale. Then you will get the output. Now we will discuss this example as a generalized measurement system. In the generalized measurement system, what is the first element? Primary sensing element. Here, what is the primary sensing element? The bulb, because it will sense us the temperature, right? So it is the primary sensing element. So what is the second element? Variable conversion element. What is variable conversion element? To convert one form to another form. So by sensing the temperature, what it was doing, the mercury in the bulb was rising. So it was converting the temperature to some linear form. So the bulb will act as both the primary sensing element and variable conversion element. After that one, data transmission element. What is data transmission element? To transfer the signal from one place to another place. So the rise in mercury has to be transmitted to the Bourdon tube. So the capillary tube will act as a data transmission element. Next one, variable conversion element. So what is variable conversion element? If the input signal is very weak, it has to convert, means it has to increase that value. So if the mercury was rising in this one, the mercury was passing into the Bourdon tube was expanding. Here the variable conversion element is Bourdon tube. So next one is variable manipulation element. When the Bourdon tube was expanding, what was happening here? All the mechanical linkages, like this link was moving, due to this link the sector was moving, and the sector was moving the pinion. So all these three come under the variable manipulation element. What is data transmission element? See here. So in the variable manipulation element, what was happening? This link was moving, so that sector was moving, so that pinion was moving. So to the pinion, pointer was attached. So this pointer was moving along the temperature calibrated scale. From here we are getting the output. So the pointer and scale are data presentation element. So finally the observer will get the output. So this is how pressure type thermometer can be explained as generalized measurement system. Not only pressure type thermometer, any measurement system can be explained as a generalized measurement system. But see here, it is not necessary that in the every instrument all these elements will be there. So according to the instrument range, some of the elements will be not there in that instrument.